All right, so what we have here is an instructional video for setup of an RTK base using the Javad system. We're going to start with just getting the fixed height tripod set up as quickly as we can with some tips and tricks for setting that thing up properly as well. And then we'll set up the UHF radio as well, and then walk you through the inside the LS Plus and how to set up your settings to run internal radio, external radio, along with the TCP service that they offer as well. So we've got a mag spike right here that we're going to set up on for the base. So I always grab it like this. I'm going to go ahead and drop my center, stick my pin in, boom, now we're fixed 2 meter. Okay, we're going to tighten that up, get on our point. Okay, pick a leg, any leg, go ahead and bring it down. Okay, you want to go as wide as you can without going too wide. Mine, luckily, my paint ends where I'm overextended, so I always keep it up here in my painted area. Stick it down. What I'm doing here, sticking that first leg down, and I'm getting it close to level. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and step it in. Come to our second leg. Ours has the on leg adjuster. Don't use that, it sucks. Just go ahead and tighten that thing up, pull it down so it's not in the way. And we're gonna use all these legs the same way, just a single point, all right? And actually, yeah, so we're gonna leave it all loose, continually looking at, just keeping it rough level. Get them stepped in good. Making sure we don't take it off point either. Okay, they're all loose. Now the trick that I use for leveling this thing, this is my workspace right here. I'll kind of hold down here, but this hand is going to move the top. Little taps can help move it to level, and I'm happy right there with level. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and tighten my legs. Okay, we're good. We got this set up now. So we're gonna go ahead and get tripod for UHF set up. Now, you need to have 10 feet of spacing in the real world when you're running this. Kind of limited here in my dirt driveway. So we're gonna just put it close by, right over here. So again, setting up the UHF radio, keep about 10 feet at least spacing. The Javad radio works on Bluetooth. You can be 30 feet away, that's fine. You know, if you need to go on a high point, better ground, go ahead and get that set up. Eyeball your level, and bring in your big battery and your radio. Okay, first thing out of the case, the radio itself. Pull your cover off, put it on. You run a tri-brack on. Again, we're kind of tight spaced here, so everything's hanging out together. You'll step all your legs in, as always. Okay, and then we can do a rough level again. Okay, level. Now you're going to assemble your radio with all your parts included. Everybody's parts kit is a little different. We've got the adjustable here. We're just going to leave it down for this example here. We've got our long whip. We're going to go ahead and install. Everything's about 120 degrees right now, so it's hard for me to hold on to all the metal pieces, but I'm doing my best. Put our ground plane on here. get that on our rod. Okay. And as I put this up, it's wrapping my cable around the pole to keep it from flapping around in the wind. Obviously, it would typically be taller. We'd have less cabling left. Blow the dirt out, and on she goes. And you'll note, this is all done before power is applied. You get everything together and ready before you put power to it. Another trick I found for this system, and perhaps it's true for them all, is you want to get everything on and then power your radio up before you put your bass up and turn it on. That way when the bass turns on, it starts looking for this, not the opposite way. Sometimes if your bass is on first and then your radio, it won't recognize it. Maybe it's an oddity, but I've had that happen. Okay, so we're gonna give it some juice. I always blow out in case there's dust or stuff in there. Okay, power's on. All right, now time for the bass to go up. Depending on how you're going to run this thing, you're gonna need either your antenna attached for internal radio use, but we're using the external radio here, so we're not gonna be attaching this antenna. What we are going to attach is our cellular antenna. We're gonna go on our cellular port here. And that's to run the TCP service that Javad provides, which allows us to transmit via IP address and cellular service instead of a broadcast radio. We'd like to use both. If we're running the big radio, we're gonna run this as well as a backup, or vice versa. You get in a radio hole, but you got cell service, this will save your ass. So you can screw it on and then power it on, or you can power it on right now. Either way, we'll go ahead and power it on. About 3 seconds, lights are coming on. We can put her up. I'm gonna face it north. That's what I do. All right, we're back. So we're gonna go ahead and get this same cellular antenna put onto our LS Plus rover here. All right. We're gonna power it on. All right, we're back. It's worked, it's powered on. All right, we're back. It's powered on. So we're gonna go ahead and start a new job, blank slate here. So we're gonna go to projects, the little plus sign here, top left, and we'll just call it example. All right, we're gonna run this thing in 0202 Arizona Central Zone. We've got Geoid 18 in here. Make sure we're in international feet. Okay. I'm gonna create that new project, which for this case, it's just an example. All right, now we're gonna connect to the base. I had a little delay there. Phone overheated. So I'm already connected, but I'll disconnect so I can show you guys that. Remote base, connect, connect. It's gonna work through its built-in tests right now as it connects to the head. So the base receiver is working through built-in tests, verifying that the interfaces are okay, TCP services are okay, your internal, external radios are functioning as they should. And once it completes that, boom, we're in, all right? So again, this is all started anew. So what we wanna do is tell it from auto, all right? We don't know where we are, we're autonomous here. I like to press it a few times, let it really get these numbers down a little bit. Probably makes no difference. Our base height right now is 6.642. It's a consistent height for us using this fixed height tripod. All right, now what I want to show you here is our output for radio. So I've got it set up right now to run the external radio, which we've got connected, and you can see my green check marks. So I'm running the TCP output service as well as the external radio. We got our radio settings here. You know, we're running 35 watts. Okay, make sure that's applied and good. And then we've got our TCP output server here, and it's using cellular like we'd like it to. And that's all pre-set up for us. If I don't want to use TCP, I just tell it not to, but I would like to. If I want to run my internal radio, I just tell it to run internal, right? Easy enough. Gonna go ahead and make sure that's applied. Okay, apply to rover. Because when I run my external radio versus the internal, I have different frequencies, and when you apply it to rover, it automatically aligns the two for you. All right, we're gonna start our base. We're gonna call this 99 home, right? It's fine. And code. I've got a bunch of preset codes I've used. That's a mag spike in the ground there, so it's gonna be set mag spike. All right, we're gonna store point and start base. Usually takes it about 30 seconds when you're running the external radio. And if you're running just a TCP, you can expect it to be good in about 5 seconds. Boom, base is running. So it's gonna work through this right here for about 30 seconds, and then we'll be online. All right, base is started. All right, we got a base ID of 408. Everything's okay across the board up here. If we're getting errors up here, that's when you gotta start restarting. All right, the way I restart stuff, if I get errors, say my radio's not working for some reason, turn it all off and turn it back on and reconnect. That's just the foolproof on and off method. All right, but we're done here. Disconnect and exit. Yep, there we go. All right, one more step when you're starting a job. If you got to import a CSV for search coordinates, things like that. Okay, we got our handy dandy flash stick. Okay, over on this side, we've got our USB port. Go ahead and stick that in. Okay, now we're gonna wanna go to Files, Data Exchange. We're going to import. All right, I'm gonna hit the up arrow, and again, boom, all the way up. Now, where are we going to? USB device, okay? Open that up. What job, what folder did you put your file in? Again, it doesn't really matter for this. We're just doing an example, but I'll go ahead and open one up. We'll go here and bam, there we go. Oh, see, that was the wrong one. So the oddity, when you import a text file and you're looking at it inside the receiver, you've got two different styles, an underscore with your file name, no underscore. You want to go with that no underscore file, all right? Now we've got points, all right? So you can see here, got our points. Next. And we're gonna go ahead and import. 66 points were imported, cool. All right, now we're good. Now, when I go to my points and design, bam, there's all my points, right? So now I got those imported. Come back over to our survey points. All we've got is the base right now. We haven't collected anything. All right, so now that we're up and running, let's say you're doing boundary work, whatever it may be, you're gonna go tie a point, and you need a really good tie on that. So we're gonna go over here to collect, and Matt Seibel will help set this up for us. So you can see it's canopy mat is our survey style to collect points. And what that is it's gonna be 3 250-second long observations, and then we're gonna average those at the end to get the most exact point that we can. Now, it's 250 epochs, but there's 4 GPS engines that are gonna give us those. So it's gonna go really quick, all right? So we're gonna get a point number in here of 100. Okay, and what is it? Well, we found RB4, and then I'll give more details in a field book, number 15, page 5, all right? Gonna go ahead and start up here, and you can either hit the start button on the screen or you can press your little check mark there. That'll actuate that same thing for you. Okay, now it's gonna take those 250 epochs, and you can see how quick it's going here, and then at the end we'll see what it has to do. All right, we got our happy noises, right? 250 epochs there, pretty quick. Took it a total of 51 seconds to get all that. How long it was recording for. Right now, it's post-processing the RTPK, and it agrees. So it verifies that the RTPK and the RTK agree with each other, and it moves on to our next point. So it's gonna do this 3 times in total, and then afterwards, I'll show you how we're gonna average that. Something to note too, if you look right here in this little green box, it's showing you how far off you are from your last stored position. So we haven't moved. So right now we're about 5 thousandths by 100th, okay? It's pretty hot. Now, say you tie a point and you walk 1,000 feet away, your first shot is gonna show a 1,000-foot difference here. Don't be alarmed. That's because you're 1,000 feet away from your last shot. All right, so we've got all 3 of those stored now. Okay, we're gonna go back to our points. Under survey, 1, 2, 3, okay? We're gonna click on this, these 3 lines, top left. Maybe. Okay, we're gonna click on cluster average. Average. Again, if the buttons aren't working, use your side buttons. If the screen's not working, that is. All right, so we've got 1 average created here. And that's point number 1100. Now the screen's getting a little finicky on me right now because of the heat. It's about 120 out right now. The touch screen, after it's exposed to the heat for that long, it gets a little upset. So we're gonna jump, we're gonna press our home screen button back here. Click on calibrate. And then you're gonna click on touchscreen. Okay, touchscreen calibrated. Now it's gonna be happier for a while. If it gets too hot, you're gonna have to go turn the truck on and put it in the AC or your cooler with some ice packs, whatever the case may be, to cool it back down, because it gets to a point where you can't touch the screen anymore. It doesn't care what you do. So if it gets to that, get it on some nice AC. All right, we're going into wobbly cameraman mode now that I'm holding the phone. So I want to show you some more settings here. Now that we're up and running, we're gonna go tie some points, etc. You can see we got this flashing orange right here. It's because we're so close that the signal strength is too high. You'll get the same thing flashing at you if your signal strength is too low, all right? So let's go ahead and switch it up. Come over here. And we're running corrections via UHF modem right now. All right, we got all our information here. We're gonna change that over to cellular modem and apply that. So now we're gonna see if our TCP is gonna work right here. We have good cell coverage, no reason for it not to. Now, if you're in a weak cell coverage area, this might not work. Even if you get 1 or 2 bars on your phone, it still sometimes can be finicky on you, all right? So what I did here, I clicked on my LTE. I'm not getting any data link or anything. Well, why is that? Okay, troubleshooting. Cellular data is off right now for some reason. Turn that on. Now we've got the green up down arrows. We are receiving, okay? You can see here, connected. That's what we want. So now, boom, we're fixed via the TCP, not the UHF radio. All right, we're gonna get some quick shots here so I can show you stake out to a line. We're just gonna be tying the back of this rolled curb here. I'm gonna do a quick shot. Okay, good residuals there. Gonna go ahead and accept that. And then we'll come down here and we'll get you another shot as well. All right, we're back. So, take one more shot here. Beautiful. And now we'll do a stake to a line. All right, so now we're gonna stake to a line using those 2 points we just took. Go to your stake. Instead of having points right there, we're gonna click on that and change it to lines by 2 points. Point 1, we're gonna go with 103. And then point 2, go with 104. All right, those are the 2 shots we just took. Confirm, stake it out. So we're at the start point right now. I'm back here on 103, all right? That's why you're seeing pretty close to a 0 station. You can see here as well. Now, whenever I'm staking to a line, I change this from being a, east-west. So you're gonna hold down, come over here, page 2, click on right-left. So that way, you know where you're at right and left of your line, okay? So now as we're going, staking this line, we can see where we're at. All right, so right now, 16.4 feet down line, and look at our right there. We're pretty true on this line. Now say you needed a 2-foot offset to that line. All right, we're gonna butt out here to the right. and it's telling you now, hey, go left, 2.3, go left, right? So this is how we're gonna get our 2 foot offset. We gotta go left 2 feet, so we're right of our line 2 feet. Same way if you're going the opposite. Okay, we're now on the left side of our line, and it's telling you to go back to the right. So this is how I'm gonna get my offsets if I need to set those, okay? All right, so for shutdown procedures here, when you're all done for the day, go back to your remote base, connect to her again. It's gonna run through that same, the built-in test as it always does. All right, we're here. Now, depending on what you want to do, we're going to say stop base. I want to stop and download because I want the raw data from the base so I can post-process that and get a real-world position. So I'm going to stop and download. Now, let's say this is your 15th time set up on this base point. You've already post-processed. You don't care. It's going to be a stop only, and then it'll go away, and you can just turn her off. Good to go. But again, I want that information out of the head. Now, it was not a very long burn. You can see that's why it's taken like 30 seconds to download. If you burn all day, that's going to be upwards of 8 to 10 minutes to import all that data. But that is not the case here. So once it completes, stop base turns into start base. Boom. All right, it's got all of its data. We're done. I want to disconnect and exit. Yep. Now we're good to go. Now, end of the day, you're gonna want to kick out your file, right? Back to our files. There's multiple ways to do this. If you would only like a CSV, it's gonna be data exchange with export. You're gonna tell it where to go. I don't have a flash stick in right now, but that would populate right here. So you would tell it where to go. And you gotta tell it to open up here. Say I want it to go right there. Here's your file name. Change that up however you want. Format is in text CSV. Now you're gonna tell it which points to export. I want all points. You go next. Here's a preview. Now I'm not gonna export it there. I don't actually want that in there. Now, a full archive for everything, including the raw data, it's going to be an archive current project. Once again, you'll tell it where to go, have your name. It's going to be a zip file. You'll export that to your flash drive, so that way you can send that off. When you're done for the day and you're back at the office connected to your Wi-Fi and you want to depost this project, all right, this is like Opus, but for Javad. We're going to go depost. We've got our base position. Okay, base is downloaded and awaiting your request to depose it. So I'm going to go ahead and depose. Do I want to send this? Yes, I would like to send this to depose. And it's going to send that off and post-process for you, and it's going to let you know when it's done. Once that's done, that's when you want to do your full archive zip file and send that off.